Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and welcome back to week 4 of the WBE. Of course, I am the coach of the Melbourne Rotoms, and this week we are up against UnderTheRadar, the coach of the Maryland Torterrapins, I believe. So, yeah, we're just jumping right into things. I think this is going to be a really tricky week. I think UnderTheRadar is really, really good, and his record certainly does not reflect his battling capabilities, because he, I think, is one of the best battlers in the league, quite frankly. So, definitely pretty nervous for this because I don't think we have a very good team matchup here, quite frankly. He's got a lot of super offensive Pokemon like Dragapult, which I think is one of the, obviously the best Pokemon, especially in a singles draft league where it's best of one. You have so much, different, so many different movesets that you can run. He's also got really strong stuff like the Obstagoon and the Surfetch'd as well. So we're going to try to beat offense with offense, basically. Some of the big questions here are, what item he's got on the Dragapult, what Lapras set it is, trying to stall out Dynamax Lapras potentially. So we've got really bulky Umbreon and Hippowdon as walls. And we can also set up some spikes with Frostlass. He might be running Defog on the Surfetch'd here, but ultimately I think no surprises in terms of the Pokemon that he ended up bringing. So the plan is to go with Frostlass, I think, and try to get up some spikes if possible, because the spikes will provide a lot of good residual damage as everything on his team will take, is affected by it, basically. So we're going to jump into it. We're 2-1 right now, but I think this week we have a pretty tough schedule because we've got Kelly right now, and then we've got, I think, Uzi and A-Drive, who are two of the best players in the league as well in the next couple of weeks. So it's only an 8-week season, so every week is super, super important. And he's actually going to lead with Obstagoon. Okay, interesting. So we're going to get into it. Yeah, if you guys enjoy, as always, show your support by leaving a like. I'd really appreciate it. And go check out Kelly's side of the battle as well. Well, this is a free opportunity to just get one layer of spikes up, I think, here, and then we can go for Destiny Bond the following turn. So I don't mind that. Yeah, let's just go for that. He's Scarfed. Interesting, okay. So, Scarf Obstagoon. Which makes a lot of sense, I think, in this matchup. We don't have a great switch into Dark. We could go into either Umbreon or Hippowdon. My Hippowdon's max HP defense, so it shouldn't take too much damage from this, and it will give me the opportunity to set up rocks as well, so I guess we'll go out into Hippowdon here. Still going to do a fair amount of damage from knockoff, but I think I'd like to conserve Frostlass, especially because we have Destiny Bond on it. I guess losing leftovers in this matchup isn't too good, though. Like, what are we Destiny Bonding to knock out? Yeah. I mean, I could just sack Frostlass and get a free switch in here. That's a tough decision to make. I really don't want to lose lefties on Hippowdon and take unnecessary damage. I think it's still an okay switch in, though, because he's going to be forced to switch out the following turn. Let's see how much this does. We are max HP, max defense on this Hippo. That's a cool lead. Scarf Obstagoon. Alright, so he's going to knock off. Yeah, we take that decently well. Okay. He's probably got Surfetch'd. I feel like if you do, you can bring it in here, and it's a pretty free opportunity to defog. So the question is whether I want to just predict the Surfetch'd switch in here, expecting it to carry defog, because that's his only defog user here. I also would like to conserve Hippowdon for Sand, because Excadrill is really important in this matchup. I'm going to set up Stealth Rocks here. We'll see if he has defog. I'm expecting the switch into Surfetch'd and then for him to go for defog. What's that? It's actually Roserade. Okay. So let's see. So we have a layer of rocks and spikes, which is obviously quite nice for us right now. I'm just quickly checking Roserade's move pool. Let's see. We really don't want to take too much time here. I know people have been talking about the timer, and that's certainly something I still need to get better at. Yeah, I mean, this can spikes or T-spikes, and obviously can go on the offense as well, but maybe we can actually just sack the Frostlass here to get a free switch in into, say, Gengar or Excadrill. Yeah, I don't mind going for that. Yeah. So we're gonna bring out Frostlass. It's gonna go for Leaf Storm. Okay, that's fine too. Nice. Because he's pretty much forced to switch out now. So I'll take that. As it's White Herb or Lefties? Oh, Eject Pack. That's cool. Interesting. We don't really see that very often in VGC, so seeing that definitely throws me off for a little bit. Looks like Lapras is just going to come out immediately. Okay. So the good thing here is it takes so much damage from Sand. So I was supposed to run Specs Rotom here, but I opted for Life Orb right before the battle. This is like, I mean, like max special attack Rotom. I think we can just go out into Rotom here, to be honest. Yeah, like, you can't really switch out, because if you switch out and back in, you just take all the residual damage from rocks and spikes. Yeah, and Life Orb, Thunderbolt should just get them. Oh, he's gonna Dynamax, obviously. Depends how bulky he is. Leaf Storm comes very close to getting the knockout. Yeah, I think we click Leaf. Wow, we could Volt Switch here as well. But if we could just outright knock out this right now. Yeah, I really wish I was Specs. I was supposed to be Specs and ended up with Life Orb instead. I guess Rotom is mainly, we mainly wanted here for the Lapras, so I'm going to just click Leaf Storm here. Has a good chance to knock out even if he's really, really bulky. This might be a roll, which I'm really scared of. Okay, so Gmax Lapras is out. Gengar and Excadrill are our main win conditions though, so like losing Rotom here isn't the end of the world. So just can we get a knockout with Leaf Storm? Alright. Yeah, so close. If we were Specs there, would have KO'd. But I think it faints from Sand. But he's probably going to go for, yeah, Max Resonance. So that's a shame. I wonder what the damage roll on that was, because even a super bulky one takes like, yeah, I think that probably was a roll, but it's unfortunate. The good thing is the Lapras doesn't get any more mileage off for the remainder of the game, right? And so that's going to faint now. Yeah. So just a shame because we could have gotten a free knockout there and then we don't have to deal with the screens as well, but all things considered, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so now we can go out and Gengar or Excadrill, which are, you know, our two main sweepers. And I'm leaning towards Excadrill. The thing I'm worried about, I guess, is that Steelix. Umbreon might be a little bit more consistent because it's bulky and we can maybe click Yawn and put something to sleep or force a switch out. Yeah, that was super close, man. If we just got that knockout for free, that would have been so nice, but oh well. This was supposed to be Choice Specs, but I ended up making the last second decision to switch into Life Orb. Alright, so Farfetch'd, or Surfetch'd comes in. It's not what I wanted to see. Surprised he brought that in, to be honest. Let's see how much this does to Umbreon. This is a really specially defensive one. So I'm assuming close combat would just like KO us. If he crits us. I guess we have to switch out though, don't we? I'm just double checking. I know he's run sub Surfetch'd before. Which I guess is the main thing I'm really scared of right now. I'm really surprised he brought that out, honestly, but I guess I should have put on more pressure. Like, I think switching to Excadrill or Gengar was the correct play there. I'm just worried like he clicks like knockoff here. We want Umbreon for the Dragapult in the late game, but I don't really want to switch out. I think I might just try to put on some pressure with Yawn right now. He's just gonna click close combat. I mean, I could have switched into Gengar there. And that gets the hard KO. But we at least get a free switch in now. Into Gengar. I was just really worried. Actually, I don't think Surfetch gets knockoff. Oh, no, it does. Yeah, yeah. So I was worried about him predicting that and just going for knockoff. But we can go out into Gengar now. So this is Scarf Gengar. So it'll outspeed Dragapult. I mean, we are weakening everything. But the main thing I'm worried about right now is the Steelix. I guess the other question is the Sludge Wave knockout at -1. I think it should, because he shouldn't be invested. Alternatively, we could just go for Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball might... Sludge Wave covers the option of the Obstagoon switching. I'll go for Sludge Wave here. Alright, he's going to switch out. Okay, Roserade comes in. That's fine. We know that's not Scarf, so he's basically sacking it, which makes a ton of sense. Think another Sludge Wave there should get the KO, but it's kind of scary. Yeah, I think we just go for it here. This gets the knockout, then we can switch out back out into Hippowdon. Okay, it gets the KO, good. So that's Roserade out of the way, as well as Lapras. Oh, I forgot about the G-Max Resonance actually being in effect. I need to not forget about that. As Obstagoon comes back in. Okay. Let's see, how many turns do we have? He's probably screened up, so 3 more after this. I think I have to switch out into Hippowdon here. Yeah. If this does less than 50 or less than half of our health, though, we can just slack off to heal off everything. So we'll see how much Hippowdon actually does to us. We could definitely win the game with Gengar and Excadrill. Like, those are our late game win cons. It's got a Parting Shot. Oh, wow. I didn't even know that got Parting Shot, but that's really cool. Scarf Parting Shot. Very, very nice. Okay. It's 4-3 right now. Should be 3 more turns. It's going to bring into Surfetched. The thing here is just it's so easy to switch out into Gengar, but I could really see him, like, because we lose the game if we just bring out Gengar hard. Does Leaf Blade KO us if it doesn't crit? That's the question. That's another question I have. This might be Banded, actually, based off its damage output earlier. This Leaf Blade doesn't do very much at all, but... Oh, it's guaranteed to crit pretty much, right? So... That does 52 to 63 with the crit. I might slack off here, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna slack off. He goes for close combat. Okay, yeah. That's big. We burn another turn of... So I wonder if he doesn't have Leaf Blade then. Oh, we burn another turn of the bulk that it has. We heal pretty much all the way back up. He's at -1 defense now, which is big too. Alright, running out of time, but we're still doing okay. So what do I want to check right now? I want to check number of turns of sand. 3 turns. Could so easily switch into Gengar here. I mean, he's not making the prediction. That's what makes me want to switch out. But I think I just throw the game if I lose Gengar, whereas here I have a relatively free Earthquake or Body Press. I think I'm just going to EQ here. I can't risk losing Gengar to a knockoff switch in. He's just going to close combat again, okay. We survive that. So Surfetch should be out of the way now. I could have made some more advanced predictions. Oh wait, that doesn't faint. Wow. Okay, I definitely underestimated its bulk. That's actually really bad. Is that banded damage though? I think it is. The switch into Gengar here is so obvious. But I think I need to because I need the sand. I should have just... I'm pretty sure this was banded. And I've been rushing things a little bit, so I haven't been calcing. So I'm gonna go into Gengar. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's Scrappy! Wow, that was a really bad... That I totally forgot about. But we actually managed to disable the close combat through Cursed Body, which is quite fortunate. That was a really bad misplay. Although that being said, then I didn't actually have a super safe play, because I guess I had to click Slack Off again to basically burn out the Aurora Veil. Okay, you have to go into Excadrill, and then we have to try to sweep with Excadrill. But I think the Steelix wins the game now. Wow. That was my bad. But that might have been a roll too, although I think he gets the KO after Sand. Yeah, I mean, I just click Earthquake here. I really thought -2 or EQ would knock out the Surfetched. But I think Steelix should be able to win now by itself. Man, this was close though. I made some small misplays that really added up. Because I needed to conserve Dynamax Gengar potentially to win against, like we could Dynamax and go for like max fighting against the Steelix, but Steelix's defense is just too high for us now. The Scarf Obstacle was pretty cool too. Yeah, like if I was running the choice specs on the Rotom instead of Life Orb like I was supposed to be running, then we would have gotten the knockout there. But I made the last second decision to switch, and that was my B. I wanted more flexibility because I didn't want to get locked into attacks in case like if Steelix switched in. But yeah, I wonder what the damage roll there on Lapras was as well. Yeah, so there's Steelix coming out. I guess if we crit Earthquake, we could still beat it. I don't even think crit Earthquake knocks out, but let me see. I'm curious. Yeah, Dragon Ball didn't even end up coming out, but even without the Scrappy, I think I still make that play anyway. It's just funny because the whole time I was like, oh yeah, I can switch in a Gengar. So Steelix against Excadrill. Well, actually, Earthquake might knock out. He's probably max HP, max defense though, so I guess I doubt it. I think Body Press should KO us in return, right? Yeah, it does. Even if he's got like... No, yeah, it's definitely knocking out. Okay, so we're Adamant, Life Orb. Oh no, we're Jolly too, so I don't think we're knocking it out. Unless we get a high roll. Jolly does 69 to 83. Yeah. We just needed a little bit more of chip damage, and I think Excadrill would have been able to sweep this if I just got one more attack off on Steelix or one more layer of spikes. But we can also win with the crit here, I guess. This is just... Oh, he's probably Shuka. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a really good tech. So even if we crit here, we can't do much, yeah. And Body Press should just KO us in return. Nice game, man. Yeah, the Banded Surfetched was a really cool call. Because I didn't really have too much. And ultimately, like, there was just a lot of offense here. So I think, like, if we did have the choice specs on Rotom, at least we would have been able to knock out the Lapras, and then you wouldn't have screens up for the, you wouldn't have been able to have screens up either, which would have been huge in beating the Surfetch, because if we KO Surfetch, then it still would have been kind of tough. We needed Gengar, basically, to knock out the Steelix, and Gengar just getting one shot by Surfetch was pretty nuts. But yeah, I forgot about Scrappy, but like I said, I don't think it really made too much of a difference, because I think I still have to switch out there anyway. So the main things that I think were... I don't... Like, I'm trying to think what could have been better in terms of what we brought to this game. We could have maybe Volt switched out with Rotom, but the thing is we don't have a great switching into Ice anyway. So I don't know how I feel about that. I guess what we could have done is actually Volt Switch with Rotom, gone into Excadrill, and then gone for Brick Break to break the screens. That could have been a pretty cool play. I think that's probably, the combination of those two attacks probably knocks out, so I think I just gambled a little bit with the Leaf Storm, and I should have just assumed he was max HP special defense, so I want to do the damage calc on just how bulky he was there, because that roll could have changed the outcome of the game, but like I said, it wasn't like a guaranteed safe play on my end. I think Shuckleberry Berry on Steelix was really smart. We needed to conserve Hippowdon for more health, but yeah, the main thing here is there wasn't really any great switch-ins into close combat, so what we needed was basically Gengar to max fighting Hippowdon. I'm curious if that KOs actually. Let me do that calc. Good game to Under the Radar though. Super cleanly played by him, I think, and this was a pretty tough matchup going into it, but I actually think I had enough resources to win, and I think like coming in, yeah, Focus Blast actually just knocks out the Steelix. If we max it, it still does 83 to 99%. So maybe actually the play is to actually sack Hippowdon and then just try to. The thing is, we sack Hippowdon, Excadrill just gets outsped by everything. But I guess if we sack the Hippowdon, Gengar gets to come in for free against Surfetched, and Gengar not having Dynamax at that point can actually click Shadow Ball. But then the thing is, you can switch in Obstagoon. So the question is, can Obstagoon take? Well, Obstagoon's normal, so Shadow Ball doesn't even affect it. I guess we could click Scarf Focus Blast. No, but then the thing is, once we G-Max, we lose our Scarf, and then the Dragapult outspeeds us. So maybe Berry could have been better here. Yeah, ultimately, I don't know. I think the team was good enough to win. I needed to. I don't even know what predictions I really could have made though. Ultimately, other than the Lapras one, I think the other one turn I messed up was against Surfetched, where I just assumed Earthquake would knock it out. So I think what I needed to do there was go for another Slack Off and then click Earthquake. That was actually a really big misplay. Now that I think about it, sorry. Because I also forgot about Scrappy, and I was like, oh, I'll switch into close combat and I'll be fine. So obviously that was a super, super bad mistake. So I think in that position, we knew it was banded. So we just click Slack Off again, stall out the screens. Then he's at -3 attack or defense the following turn. We knock out the Surfetched, and then Gengar can come in and potentially sweep the game. So looking back, actually, I think, yeah, there were two big misplays this game. Just going for Leaf Storm instead of Volt Switch into Brick Break. Because he's never going to go for like Max Geyser there in front of against Rotom. And then obviously switching in close combat against Scrafty Surfetch, like that was just me totally forgetting about that. And based off the calc, it looked like it was choice band damage. So I think I was like a little bit scared of it just like not being choice band still, but like there's no reason for it not to be choice banded at that point based off its damage output. So the play there was to just go for another Slack Off, a third Slack Off, heal back up, and then click Earthquake after that, because then we trade Hippowdon for the Surfetched, and then with Scarf Gengar we can outspeed everything basically. The other big question I had is whether he was scarfed on the Dragapult or not, because if he was, then that beats Scarf Gengar even if we Dynamax. We maybe could have Dynamax Gengar earlier as well, but I don't think I really would have liked that because it just gets revenge swept by the Scarf Obstagoon that he led with. So yeah, that was a fun one for sure. I think I was pretty nervous going into this, mainly because I didn't think the matchup was super good, but ultimately we actually had more than enough resources to win this game. And I made the biggest misplay was obviously the close combat into Surfetched. But I think at that point I have to just sack. The switching wasn't even the main problem, actually. The main problem was not slacking off earlier, and I just assumed Earthquake would KO. I'm curious about that calc, actually. I'm going to do that real quick. Body Press also might have done more. So Surfetched. I'm really impressed it survived that. I mean, that was -2 defense. Like, screens were up, but still. That might have been a roll. I think that was probably a roll, actually. So I think we probably didn't get the best rolls in this game, but we also could have played a lot better. I guess he probably has some bulk on that Surfetch too, so I don't know. He probably survives that anyway. But yeah, I think I needed to. The main thing was I needed to just go for another Slack Off and then click Earthquake after the third one. So yeah, definitely a super winnable game, and I made some very small mistakes that or not even small, they were pretty big mistakes. I think the Rotom Leaf Storm play against the Lapras is justified, but the one against Surfetch, there's no reason to not. The reason to not click Slack Off is if I'm afraid of getting crit, but he wasn't running like the crit set, so. it's better to, I think, go for 2 slack-offs and then click Earthquake. But then the question is, where do we go from there, right? Because then Sand expires, so I think it's still a tough position for me to win, like, even after that. We also could have switched, actually, I was going to say we could have switched Umbreon out, but the thing is, Bandit Close Combat just literally two-shots anything that I brought onto this team, and there wasn't really a way around it, given my draft. So ultimately, the lack of like switch-ins to fighting and Ghost was what made this matchup really scary, and I think Ban Surfetched was a great call by Kelly. So great game to him, man. Go check him out. Link, he's linked in the description below. You can check out his perspective of the battle. I think some small misplays, like I said, here and there, and some larger ones towards the end, but he came in with really good prep. This was already going to be a tough matchup to win, and he played really well too. I don't think he really made any mistakes like at all throughout the course of the game, so I'm gonna have to look over the VOD to reevaluate like what plays could have been better. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We're 2-2 now, so not terrible. I'd like to end the season at least 4-4, maybe try to make playoffs at 5-3. That definitely would be the goal, but still learning a lot. And yeah, that Surfetched was certainly really strong. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. All right, peace.